Throughout Terraria, the player is given a multitude of different ways to obtain weapons, whether that be as rare drops from enemies, complex crafting recipes, or purchased from a vendor for coin. And while these do offer plenty of choice throughout your playthrough, did you know there's actually a handful of other joke-like weapons which can be obtained from, well, murdering your own NPCs? Today, we're going to be looking at an NPC weapon that, despite on the surface being just another quirky drop, is actually unironically powerful. Of course, I'm talking about the Resonance Scepter. Before we jump into it though, if you enjoy these kind of weapon reviews, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to help support the channel. Okay then, let's see just so you can get this thing. I think it'll come as no surprise that this pink and sparkly scepter is wielded by the Princess NPC, which can move in as early as post-Plantera. For those of you who don't know, the Princess is the final obtainable NPC in the game, requiring you to have all the other town NPCs present other than Santa Claus and town pets. So assuming you've been keeping up with your NPC game, the Princess should move in shortly after your cyborg. Anyway, despite our dedication to persuading her to move into our lovely town, you're gonna want to kill her. For this, there's a few ways you can go about it. Either the slow, painful strategy of pouring lava on the poor soul, or if you're feeling a little more adventurous, by using a boulder. Oh, and pointing it in the right direction. Oh yeah, also, I found the bouncy boulder to be much more effective at taking her down, and with a 12.5% drop rate, actually granted me my first Resonance Scepter drop. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is a bit of a faff, which is why the devs introduced a lovely weapon in 1.4.4 known as the Fly Meal. This easily to craft broadsword is able to quickly take out any friendly NPC without making a mess of your world. And just like that, let's see what this weapon's all about. As mentioned, despite its unorthodox obtainability, the Resonance Scepter is unironically one of the best pre-Golem mage weapons, rapidly casting glowing pink circular projectiles at the cursor's position that linger for 1 second. In many ways, I see this as an indirect upgrade to the Inferno Fork, dealing very similar damage but being able to summon projectiles anywhere on the screen instantly. And while, yeah, it's gonna lose a DPS race against a single target weapon like the Resipine, its infinite piercing makes for some very impressive multi-target DPS, which although falls behind the longer lingering Inferno Fork's performance, doesn't concern me, as practically the Inferno Fork can't maintain this DPS. As you can see, against the real thing, both the Resonance Scepter and Inferno Fork absolutely delete this group of mimics. And here's the interesting part I was just waiting for. Against more tanky targets, the Resonance Scepter's ability to quickly follow the mouse makes for a quicker fight, with the Inferno Fork requiring a few more casts to keep up. And guess what? This gap only widens against bosses. Against good old Golem, I found the Resonance Scepter to be a fantastic weapon to use, just having enough AoE to deal with each of the segments at once. And unlike the Inferno Fork, dealt more consistent DPS without any pauses in damage delivery when the boss moves, which has always been a major weakness of this weapon. And in very little time, Golem is down. So let's see if the Scepter can improve even further against the boss that the Fork really struggles with. In many ways, the Resonance Scepter is one of the most ideal weapons for the cultist fight, essentially turning it into a point-and-click adventure game. This not only gives you the chance to fully focus on dodging from a safe distance, but can deal damage constantly regardless of the cultist's movement. Obviously, this is not the case with the Inferno Fork, which although can deal more DPS on standing targets, becomes pretty terrible at actually contacting the boss in the first place. Anyway, assuming you do take the cultist down with this thing, the question is, what is next for this weapon? And well, if I'm honest, while it does fare pretty well against the pillars, with just a few nebula fragments, I think it's safe to say you'll be retiring this thing for good, just like so many other post-Plantera weapons. So yeah, use-wise, it's very limited. Or is it? You see, something I haven't even considered till recently is how this weapon can technically be obtained before Plantera, assuming you have the Princess to kill. And well, with the Celebration Mark 10 Siege, you spawn with just that, meaning a weapon with post-Plantera performance can be obtained in the same way as early as post-Wall of Flesh, essentially breaking possession completely on the Celebration Mark 10 Siege. So yeah, do what you will with this information. This has been sockrteez, and I'll see you in the next one.